Batting fifth, playing at second base, number 6, Kaiser Anthony. Batting sixth, playing at first base, number 3rd, playing first base, number 9, Caleb Huffman. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 23, Gavin West. Batting fifth, playing in center field, number 6, Jack Fleming. Sixth in the order, the designated hitter, number 12, Nick Strower. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 11, Mason Moore. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 2, Carlos Martins. And batting ninth, playing in right field, number 25, Jake Epstein. Pitching for Gordon State is number 3, Colin Eaton. The Highlanders are led by head coach Tanner Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play ball. Leading off at the top of the first for the Hawks, number 16, Trey Jeffers.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is the second game of the day. The opening game was a Georgia Highlands win in 7. So Georgia Highlands has punched their ticket. They are in to tomorrow's winner's bracket game. They will take on the winner of this one. A back for the loss. We'll take on the loser of this one. And we are obviously in the top of the first. We're not at the end of the ball game. Let me go ahead and get my graphic miscue out of the way early. Trey Jeffers starting it off. Andrew Shadburn batting second. Colton Whaley third. Kyle Shivers is the 4-hitter. Kaiser Anthony in the 5 spot. Michael Fitzpatrick hitting 6th. Logan Boone 7th. 8-hitter is Luke Flading. And the 9 guy, Tucker Love. That is out of the park but foul by Trey Jeffers. Dave Elder, the commissioner of the GCAA, with us as well.
We told you we'd be back. Those that tuned in for game 2, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I wish they weren't back, but we are.
Nope, that's only reserved for me. They're like, Dave, we're delighted to have you back. You're the man in the know, all GCAA, everything that is related to the conference. Dave knows.
That and 20 cents won't even get you in the door at Starbucks tomorrow, so don't rely on that, folks. Rely on the man that does the play-by-play.
No. Inside pitch. Ball given to Jeffers and a base runner aboard. I'm thinking that, these caps we're sporting that say the GCAA should say DAVE.
For the Hawks, the DH, number 22.
Well, let's just go into a recap because it's getting thick and deep in here. Hey, the reason we're at this point right now, we had 2 games yesterday, and South Georgia State College, yesterday's nightcap, came out with a 15-14 thriller, 29 runs, over 30 hits in that ball game. At one point in time, one inning, Georgia State was sitting there looking at getting run ruled, not doing the run ruling, but getting run ruled. But then they came back and put everything together. In the last couple innings, a little flip-flopped on scores. But they survived through that 9-inning game and advanced to today to take on Gordon State, who had a bye earlier at our 12 o'clock ball game. In the other winners bracket, Georgia Highlands disposed of ABAC 11-3 in a run rule game right there. So as Robert said, Highlands moves on in the winners bracket. The winner of this game will move on to play Highlands tomorrow at 1. The loser will drop into the losers bracket and take on ABAC at 10 a.m. in the morning.
So an elimination game first thing tomorrow. Colin Eaton is on the hill for Gordon. Behind the plate is Zach Thompson. At first, Caleb Huffman. The second baseman is Jackson Alford. Shortstop, Carlos Montans, as that one is poked foul by Shadburn. And at third, Gavin West. Got an outfield of Mason Moore in left, Jack Fleming in center, and the right fielder is Jake Epstein. So there you have it. South Georgia State's offense, defense for Gordon. Game slated for 9. Could stop at 5 or 7, depending on how big of a score someone might have, or there's always the possibility we go beyond 9 if nobody's got a lead. 2-2 the count on Shadburn. Foul back to the screen, out of play. Colton Whaley on deck. This will do it for Tuesday. Then we're back tomorrow. Games at 10, 1, and 4. That is if Mama Nature will cooperate. We're talking sweet to her, hoping that she will indeed allow us to get baseball games on time on Wednesday. And also
whispering no rain in her ear.
Yes. And please. Also tomorrow, A-Back and Florence Darlington Tech in a 2 out of 3 series in Tifton. Inside pitch to determine who gets to go to Chakalaka.
For softball.
Yep. So a lot of GCAA stuff today and tomorrow. 3-2 pitch that is sliced in the direction of second, and that'll be the double play. No. Safe over at first is Shadburn. Out is Jeffers on what turned into a 4-6. Didn't get the 3, though.
Up to third in the order for the Hawks.
One away for Colton Whaley. Temperatures into the mid-80s today in Cartersville. Currently 83, should warm to 86.
First game we had a little more cloud cover, so I would say was a little cooler.
I think it felt like 83. Now feels like 86. Couple of swings and misses for Whaley. Humidity at 58%, so that's up a little bit.
Whew, that's starting to get summertime humidity.
Air quality 34 and good. I guess, Dave, if you want to work on the tan, today's a decent day to do it. UV index 4 and moderate. One aboard, one away. Top of the first. Kyle Shivers on deck. Colin Eaton delivering the 1-2. A little bit outside. Did he go? He didn't. Count even at 2. Two ball, 2 strike offering. Swung on and missed. Every pitch that got Whaley was low and away. And there's 2 gone for Kyle Shivers.
Now batting number 20, Kyle Shivers.
7 solo home runs in the game that preceded this one. 7 home runs, kind of unique. That's a large number of homers. But all of them solo shots. That's really unique.
Got a little help from the wind also. So, hey, at this point I'm going to step aside because I'm going to since he's here, I'm going to let you talk to Dash O'Neill for an inning or so and get his insight just like you did with Jeff Timothy. And Dash, I don't think has gotten any of those superstitions built up coming and talk to you. Jeff had. Jeff would win a ball game, come up, talk to Robert, does this, talks to Robert, loses. He didn't want any part of JockJive. So I'm gonna pass the headset over to Coach Dash O'Neill and let y'all have a little conversation, and maybe I'm sure he can provide some enlightenment to those people who are watching.
All right, thank you very much. Kaiser Anthony coming to the plate with a couple of base runners aboard, 2 gone here in the top of the first on the outside part of the plate. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. The guys really showed up today.
I got to ask you first. This is the most important question because we pondered this during the game. How were you named Dash? I mean, what brought Dash about?
Well, Dash is just a combination of the first two letters from my first name and middle name. So I was supposed to be James Joseph O'Neill. That's my father's name and my grandfather's name, and I think there's like 13 in a row. And but my parents were coming around in the 70s, and they were hippies, I think, and they decided they were going to fight the man. And so part of that was not naming me James Joseph. They named me Daniel after Elton John's song. And my father didn't want to completely disrespect my grandfather, so he chose Seamus as my middle name, and Seamus is the Gaelic or Irish version of James. And so, but he said, I'm going to call him Dash. It's going to be the DA from Daniel and the SH from Seamus. And that's kind of how it came about.
Well, that is far more interesting story than I had dreamed up in my mind that you were just a little speedster at some certain age.
Yeah, I wish that were true, but no, I was a pretty average runner.
Fly out by Anthony. We're going to keep you around, if you don't mind, as we go to the bottom of the first in a scoreless game.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We head to the bottom of the first. In the top part of the inning, 1 base hit, 2 runners stranded. Zach Thompson starting it off for Gordon. Jackson off for the 2-hitter, Caleb Huffman. Batting third, Gavin West fourth. 5-hitter is Jack Fleming. Nick Struer in the 6th spot. Mason Moore hits 7th. Carlos Martins is the 8-hitter, and Jake Epstein is batting 9th. Meanwhile, Landon Dean on the hill for South Georgia State. Trey Jeffers behind the plate. First baseman Michael Fitzpatrick. Kaiser Anthony at second. Shortstop is Tucker Love. The third baseman Kyle Shivers. Luke Flading in left. Center fielder Colton Whaley. Right fielder Logan Boone. Coach, going back to that ball game that you went over A-back in 7 by 8, 11-3. Man, you got off to a roaring start.
Yeah. 2
solo home runs off 2 pitches. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen. First 2 pitches of the game go yard.
Yeah, I've never seen it happen in a postseason game, but, it just was, I think they left it out over the plate, and our guys did a good job of capitalizing on it, and, it was a great way to get started. If you told me we could start every game like that, I'd certainly take it.
They scored 510 runs during the course of the year, so obviously you put up some numbers. Isn't that a different mindset, especially that early in a game, to go after those first pitches?
Well, I think it's just kind of the thing where, and shoot, Thompson just led off this game with a home run. So maybe we started a
That's a
trend.
Highlanders home run.
But I think it's just you let hitters hit. If you've got guys that can swing the bat, you just let them do their thing, and you have to trust them and hope that they're going to make good decisions and swing at good pitches.
7 solo home runs in the ball game between APAC and Georgia Highlands. Here we have another solo home run. Here's another first for me. I don't think I've seen 8 home runs back to back to back to back to back to back, and they've all been solo shots.
Yeah, the wind is blowing that direction, and I think it's just helping jump some of these balls, but everybody in this league can hit. I said it yesterday in the brief time I was on here, is every team in our league can really hit, and everybody's got dangerous hitters. And if you make mistakes, they get punished. So you really have to be sharp on the mound, and when you're not, they get hit real hard.
Looking at the conference mark, you, of course, the number 1 seed, but every team that's still here has beaten Georgia Highlands at some point during the season. Does that create any additional anxieties for you, or do you take every game with the same kind of demeanor?
Well, it's baseball, and anybody can beat anybody on a given day. And I just go at it, and I have to trust my team. And if we play our game, then we'll be okay. And but you just have to respect everybody here. Everybody here is good. Everybody can beat you. So there's certainly no easy games, and I don't know if it creates any more anxiety. I've been doing it long enough to know that sometimes you're going to get beat and sometimes you're not. And if it's your year, then nobody can stop you. And if it's not your year, there's nothing you can really do about it.
Well, I'm sure you know that it wasn't Walter State year. They got knocked out in 2 up in Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
So they are out of the picture. So, it does lend credence to the fact that anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of good teams up there. I know Columbia State's having a great season. Chattanooga State's good year in and year out. Dyersburg has a really good tradition. Policastro does a great job at Cleveland State. Even some of the other ones like Southwest Tennessee and Roane State have really improved the last couple seasons. And those guys are doing great jobs. And I'm sorry if I'm leaving somebody out up there, but there's a lot of good baseball now, and I think there's just more parity than there's ever been.
Caleb Huffman, 1 away, 1 in on the home run that was Zach Thompson. And Gavin West moving to the on-deck circle. What was the mindset? You're playing, no matter what happens, you're playing at least 2 games, and obviously you expect to play more. But what goes into the mindset of putting Trip Duval as your first game pitcher versus one of your other pitchers?
It was just his turn. It was just his turn in the rotation, and he's been great for us all season, and there was really no reason to change it up and out-strategize it. I like our chances if he goes on the mound and pitches well.
This is popped up by Huffman into left field, and a nice catch made there by Luke Flaney. So who gets the start tomorrow?
We're going to go with Sharman tomorrow, and we're just going to stay on the same schedule we've gone on, basically, and run those guys out in order. And it worked for the regular season. If it doesn't work now, then I guess it's just not in the cards. So we're gonna trust our guys and just go do our thing.
So you don't go to the box score and look at how a pitcher fared against a particular team.
No. This is junior college. You don't know what you're going to get one game to the next. From anybody, and you can spend hours and hours poring over stat sheets and trying to get scouting reports and doing all that, or you can just go try to play the game hard and hope that your guys do what they're supposed to do.
Gavin West at the plate, Jack Fleming on deck. Coach, you are sounding a little old school. I talked to Bobby Sproul recently, and he was talking about all these stats, all these machines, all these velocity checkers, and he goes, just hit the ball. Just throw the ball.
It really comes down to that. Can you throw it over the plate? Do you catch it when they hit it to you? And are you going to put the ball in play? And if you do those things, you got a chance. And baseball's not really meant to be played in a tournament format anyway. So, the tournament format almost, I think maybe is a disadvantage sometimes because baseball's really meant to be played out over time and over a number of games. And that's why there's series that you play in the big leagues. But so I just think if you overthink it, you do more harm than good.
Got a favorite from the standpoint of who you would prefer to face, Gordon or South Georgia State?
No, I mean, pick your poison. They're both really good. Gordon's had a tremendous year, and I can't say enough about what Tanner Hall has done coaching by himself. Finished second in the league. They've won a ton of games. They've beaten a lot of really good teams, and he doesn't even have an assistant coach. So, I mean, they have a really good team and play with a ton of confidence. And Jeff Timothy is an outstanding coach, and his teams are always so well prepared. So, no. I mean, I don't have a preferred opponent. It's just we're going to play whoever wins this game and do the best we can do, and we'll try to take care of our end of the house and let those other things take care of themselves.
Speaking of your end of the house, you are in a brand new house. Mm-hmm. To me, it's kind of like getting a new car. I mean, gives you a new feeling when you walk to the diamond.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, it's just we played the first real home game in the history of the program back in January, or February. I think February 1st was opening day. And it really does. I mean, you feel good just coming to the ballpark every day. Our guys take so much pride in this place, and they, I don't have to worry if something's not done right because they take it personally if they see somebody not taking care of the park. So it's just been a joy.
1 ball, a couple of strikes on Fleming. Nick Struer moving to the on-deck circle. Any tendency whatsoever? I don't even know why I ask these questions because I know the answer. But any tendency that you look beyond the GCAA conference? And, I mean, you've played those Tennessee teams already, and you've knocked off some of the top teams out of Tennessee. I mean, is there any tendency to look ahead?
No, I mean, to be honest, I didn't know that Walters was eliminated until you told me. We got to get out of this tournament first, and this is a really difficult tournament to win. And if you don't have enough respect for the people that you're playing right now to put all your focus on them, I think you're probably setting yourself up for failure. So, I'm sure Tennessee is going to put out a good champion, and Georgia's going to put out a good champion. And, when that happens, then I'm sure whoever wins in both leagues will start really thinking about who they're going to have to play.
Dash O'Neill, great to have you with us. Thanks for dropping by for an inning. And I was thinking about it. Dash, Daniel Seamus. I guess I would be Rojo.
Yeah. Not bad.
I like that.
You could do a lot worse than that. Yeah.
So you're Dash, I'm Rojo. We appreciate you being with us. And thank you again. Best seat in the house, I've told everybody from Georgia Highlands, is sitting, maybe 50, 75 feet off home plate. We appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Rojo. You do a great job. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Dash. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Krabs got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Leading off the top of the second for the Hawks, number 34, Michael Fitzpatrick.
Come on, Big Mike. Here we go, baby.
Top of the second, mid part of the order. Michael Fitzpatrick starts. Logan Boone and Luke Flaney due up in the inning, too.
Well, neither one of us were within the ballpark on how Dash got Dash. And okay, that makes sense now, but never in a million years would I put that there.
Nor would I have outside with the pitch to Fitzpatrick, but again, I might have me a new name. I don't know. I've always thought my name, I bugged my parents about the blandness of my name. They named me, and it wasn't creative at all. I mean, they named me after a grandfather or a father in both cases. So now I can spice it up a little bit. I can be Rojo.
There you go.
Fitzpatrick on. Boone coming to the plate.
Now
Tying
batting
run
number
aboard.
8, Logan Boone.
How do you account for where these two teams are concerned when you look at their regular season play? The absolute diversity in scores. I mean, there was one game, as a matter of fact, on the same day, I believe, South Georgia wins the game, first one, 1-0. Gordon comes back and wins the nightcap, 21-6.
I think Dash said that in the last break. You're dealing with junior college kids.
Anything can happen. Base hit up the middle, seeing eye single from Logan Boone.
I think it's not anything can happen, it's everything does happen.
It will, yeah. Kind of like starting off
Now
a game
batting
with 2 home
number
runs,
25, Luke
or kind of like
Boone.
having 8 solo home runs in a row. Not necessarily consecutive at-bats, but the home runs that we have had, all 8 of them solo shots.
Game circumstances a lot of times fall into play, and you know, no matter what you try to do, the game's going to be the game. And you know, you get 2 pitchers that get locked in, and all of a sudden, you know, you get a number of 3 up, 3 downs, and or a number of Ks, and then things just get flowing, and they keep going. And then next thing you know, you look up, well, it's the 8th inning, and we're at a 1-0 ball game, and we've only got 3 hits in the game. So I mean, how do you predict that? It's just like you and I talked about before the game. How would you predict that Highlands was going to get 2 pitches and 2 home runs at the start of their ball game?
Yeah. And two, it's what you got to love about the game of baseball. If you're around it a lot like we are, I mean, 40-plus years, but then here comes that game where there's something you've never seen before, despite having watched hundreds, if not thousands, of games prior. And that one will hit flaming, bases loaded for the Hawks.
And you're exactly right, because you over the years, man, I think I've seen, no, you have, when you stop seeing everything, that's when you realize your days are probably numbered, because there'll always be something that's just different. Well, I never saw that one happening.
Colin Eaton getting a visit from Coach with the bases loaded, back-to-back singles and a hit batsman, bringing the 9-hitter to the plate with it full in the top of the second, top of the order. Trey Jeffers moving to the on-deck circle. It's turned into a good-looking day. It was very overcast, kind of, I don't want to call it blustery. I always think of blustery when it's cooler, but it was overcast.
Breezy, how about that?
Okay, we'll go with breezy. But it's good looking right now. Do have some clouds on the horizon, but plenty of sunshine. Of course, the fans going, hey, we prefer the clouds.
Now at the plate for the Hawks, number 7, Tucker Love.
Tucker Love, followed by Trey Jeffers. Top of the second in a 1-zip game. Zach Thompson, a leadoff solo home run in the bottom of the first. The current difference in the game.
And we got one little blip on the radar, which is around Dallas. It looks like if it continues to grow, it would go south of us as it goes from southwest to northeast. But there's a little line of scattered showers on the Mississippi-Alabama border, but that won't get here in time. Now, the question we look at is tomorrow, and they're calling right now for AM thunderstorms tomorrow. Maybe we can get those out of the way. Thursday, we're talking 65% chance of rain. But, here's the thing. It's Tuesday, ground ball.
Got the double play. Run comes in, ties the game, but Love will hit into the 4-6-3.
Weather changes every hour. And so, what looked good last night at 11 o'clock didn't necessarily look good this morning as good.
Back to the top
But then
of the
again,
order,
it could
and
be
the
back
name is
looking
South Georgia
fine.
State
So
with number 16, Trey
we'll be
Jeffers.
here. We'll make a determination. We'll really start getting heavy into this tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening after 3 games, and see how we are on for Thursday. I know the ball didn't get far enough away from the catcher.
Boone thought about it.
And so we'll see how. I know Dash wants to play Thursday, which I didn't expect otherwise, because you know what? When you're in the winner's bracket, you got everybody else in the hole, and you got arms that are being used. He wants to get in where those guys have to use the arms and don't get any additional rest. So we'll go from there and see. And we might see if we can just try to get in that championship game on Thursday, and then if we have to, do the if game on Friday. So we've got flexibility. Hey, athletics, you have to. We've got a plan A, but we've also already looking at plan B, C, and D. So
outside with the pitch, Trey Jeffers, who walked in the first, at the plate in the second in a 1-1 game. And the go-ahead run in third for the Hawks. Andrew Shadburn on deck. A little bit outside, 3-1. Now the series between the GCAA champ and the TCCAA, does that happen midweek next week?
yes. Give me just 1 second. Let me get to.
And will it be a single 9-inning game every day?
Yes.
So 2 out of 3 series.
That is correct, and that will be.
Shot over toward short, backhanded there by Martens. Gets it to first and gets Jeffers.
And I'll give you those dates when we come back after the break.
Picking off the bottom of 2 for Gordon State, the DH, number 12, Nick Strower.
And don't forget, follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Dave, I know you want the update on how close to 4,000 subscribers we are.
Of course.
10. Need just 10 to hit that subscribe button to get us to 4,000. And we will thank you very much. If you are the 4,000th subscriber, as this one is poked to right field, a little bit of a stumble by Boone, and that's enough to get it over the head of Boone and go to the fence. Struer with a double.
And by gaining your 4,000,
we are going to give you,
Now batting, number 11,
you're the 4,000th viewer.
that brand new Toyota Tundra.
No, our love and affection.
I'd rather have the Tundra.
We don't have the budget for a Tundra.
Hey, I was at Cabela's early this morning. They got a sponsor with Toyota. Why can't Robert Williams and JockJive get a
Cabela.
sponsor?
What is Cabela?
Bass Pro, Cabela's.
See, I don't fish.
I don't either, not anymore. I used to, but Mother's Day's coming up. And the wife.
And she does?
The Queen wanted some SPF 50, 30 or 50 shirts when she's in her garden.
So you just happen to look at boats?
No.
While going to get shirts for your wife. Fouled back to the screen by Moore.
No, but I did look at some other really high dollar items that remained at Bass Pro Cabela's.
You are a firearms guy, though, so you probably spotted a gun or two that.
Yeah, I could always do that. There was also, Gore-Tex is expensive.
A little low on the pitch to Moore.
Rain suit?
Uh-huh.
Gore-Tex rain suit's going to put you back about 6 to 7 Benjamins.
Well, can you tell me what's not expensive these days?
Well, that is true.
2-1 pitch to Moore. Count goes even at 2. Carlos Martins on deck, top of the third. Shadburn, Whaley, and Shivers for South Georgia State. Gordon saw the Hawks tie the game in the top of the second, trying to get the lead back in the bottom of the inning. With Struer, the base runner, at second. Count even at 2. Moore, Martins, and Epstein. The only 3 Highlanders who have yet to hit. Plan on doing that here in the bottom of the second, unless, of course, the double play is turned. And if a double play is turned, at the moment it would have to be a pickoff on a liner or something to that effect. Base hit Moore into right field. Struer held at third. Back-to-back hits put runners on the corners for the Highlanders.
And you were asking bottom of the last inning where the Georgia champion, Tennessee champion, that's the Appalachian District. And that'll be next Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the EF game on Thursday. So we've got a single game on the 14th, single 9-inning game also on the 15th, and then should those two teams split those 2 days, then we'll have that rubber game of the match on the 16th.
And that, by the way, is not to be confused with the Appalachian District.
No, because we Southerners do not pronounce it that way.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I'm a Southerner. I actually, do you call it the Appalachians or the Appalachians?
Appalachian. It's like I'm throwing an Appalachia. Appalachian.
Well, I'm a Southerner, and I always called it Appalachians.
No, Lower Alabama. L.A. does not constitute.
But I'm not originally from Lower Alabama.
Well, then there
just a tad souther.
Now batting for
There
the
you go.
Highlanders, number 2, Carlos Martins.
Conversation over. Jeff Timothy talking to Landon Dean.
And
Runners on the corners.
As someone who lives at the foothills of the Appalachians, I guess I can tell you probably a little better than others.
That is probably true. That is a pass
He's
ball.
going to push it. He's going to get there.
Scoring from third is Struer. To second goes Moore. And Gordon gets the lead back.
You'll deem that a wild pitch or a pass ball?
I deemed it a pass ball. I don't know. It could be a wild pitch. I'm not sure
tend to
exactly
agree with
where
you,
it
pass
hit.
ball on that one.
Low and away with the pitch to Martins. Jake Epstein is on deck. And then it's back to the top of the order to the guy that smacked a solo home run, the 8th straight as far as home run category goes. It's been hit today. 8 solo home runs hitting today.
That's in the gap.
Is the trend broken? It is. Was it a one-hopper, though? From this vantage point, hard to tell. Yep, ground rule double. Martins driving in more. Gordon with a 3-1 lead. And Jake Epstein coming to the plate.
At the bottom of the order for Gordon State, number 25, Jake Epstein.
Top of the order, Zach Thompson to the on-deck circle. Still nobody gone as the 9-hitter steps in. South Georgia State used 8 pitchers yesterday.
Did you and Jeff Timothy discuss that?
I did not. You know, he's a little superstitious. He prefaced the conversation with, let's not talk about pitching. And then, of course, he did say, hey, ask any question you want. But I took that first. It's kind of like my GPS these days. My Google Maps. You got to listen to the first instructions because the rest of the instructions until the next turn are all over the place. So I listened to his first. And I didn't ask about the 8 pitchers. I was going to say, I thought I saw you wave to me to go down to the bullpen and get ready. But I didn't think that would set too well. Steered clear of that, too.
Well, I think the next question would be is, do you have any eligibility left?
Well, I didn't play any in junior college or college. So do I have eligibility?
Yeah, but
I mean, is it based exclusively on athletic or academic?
You'd have to enroll back in school. It's a combination. You haven't used any eligibility. You could come back and play even at your advanced age. But you would have to be enrolled full-time at the institution. So let's get you in 12 hours.
Yep.
In the fall.
4 classes.
Yep.
And I can play ball. But here's the thing though that would be really unique. If I got the 4 classes, signed up, enrolled, and played ball, I've never been able to play ball anywhere. So does that mean I can automatically play? Never was very good.
Now I had a coach I was talking to a while back basketball, and he was recruiting a kid, and the kid said if he couldn't guarantee his playing time, he wasn't going to commit. I'm like, really? Who's getting playing time guaranteed?
Yeah.
It's a different generation.
1-0 pitch. Wow.
That's gone.
That is smashed. Zach Thompson's done it once. He does it again. Solo shot in the first. How about a 3-run blast in the second?
3-run HR off the bat at number 17, Zach Thompson.
A first and second inning home run. That one just sailed out of the park.
Next up for the Highlanders, number 21, Jackson Oaker.
Bases cleared, 5-run lead. Jackson offered ground into a 1-3. That has popped up to the left side. This one looks like it will stay in the park. Flading is underneath. They make the catch, and there's the first out at the bottom of the second. One out for Caleb Huffman, who popped out to left.
Now batting number 9, Caleb Huffman.
Huffman flew out to left field. He was the second out of the first inning. Gavin West on deck.
All right, Landon.
A 1-run first, a 5-run second thus far for Gordon. Outside with the pitch from Landon Dean. Struer, Moore, Martins, Epstein, and Thompson. Highlanders that have touched home plate in the second. A little bit outside with the offering, 2-1. Well, there we go again.
Wow.
Out of the park, home run, Caleb Huffman.
It's a Highlanders home run.
Let's see,
Solo
that is
off the bat of number 9, Caleb
home run
Huffman.
number 10 today. Now a 7-1 lead.
You know, I was sitting there looking at Jeff Timothy, and he was talking last game how he would definitely, when it came time, would get in his coach's ears.
Next up for Gordon
And
State,
they'd get in his
23,
ears.
Gavin West.
Assistant coach Stuart Bailey was sticking his head out of the dugout, getting in his ear. So, and he said he liked that, but he doesn't like the result right now.
Popped up to center field. Underneath to make the catch. That is Colton Whaley. West to Whaley for out number 2. Here is the 9th Highlander to come to the
Now
plate in
batting
the
number
second inning.
6, Jack Fleming.
Jack Fleming. He struck out in the first.
We got Landon. All right.
Nick Struer, who started off the inning with a double, moves to the on-deck circle. Shadburn, Whaley, and Shivers in the top of the third for South Georgia. Tried to check his swing, but couldn't. Fleming, strike number 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, Dean to Fleming. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of Fleming. And it is the second strikeout for Dean. 9 go to the plate, 6 come in.
6 runs on
And
5
a
hits.
1-1 game becomes a 7-1 game as we head to the third.
Gordon State.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Six runs played in the bottom of the second. We head to the third. Andrew Shadburn, Colton Whaley, And Kyle Shivers due up in the inning, too. Shanburn ground into a 4-6. 0 for 1 in the ball game. On the outside part of the plate from Eaton. Colin Eaton, sophomore right-hander, 12 appearances this season, 11 starts. 4-2 with 46 innings pitched. 56 hits given up, 31 runs, 22 earned. A 4.30 ERA. 41 strikeouts. 4 home runs allowed. And this one has given up a run and a total of 3 hits. Top of the third. Not quite an hour in, 51 minutes in. Ground to short. Martin's with it, whips it over to first. Shanburn's out number 1. One gone for Colton Whaley. Whaley's the lone Eaton strikeout of the game thus far. Low and away with the pitch to Colton Whaley. He was out number 2 in the first inning. And has popped up in the direction of right field. And there the catch is made by Jake Epstein.
Next up for the Hawks, number 20, Kyle Shivers.
Come on, Kyle.
Kyle Shivers next. Shanburn and Whaley go down, ground out and pop out. Shivers, who was one of the 3 base hits in the game, coming to the plate in the third, swinging at the first Eaton pitch.
All right, Kyle, get on now.
Same guy that started the second starts the third for Gordon. Nick Struer, Mason Moore, Carlos Martins all due up. Couple of strikes on Shivers. Kaiser Anthony moving to the on-deck circle. One-two pitch. And it will stay a ball and a couple of strikes. Shivers 12 extra base hits. 9 doubles, 2 home runs. And there he's got a base hit. 2-out single.
All right, way to go, Kyle. All right, big. Come on, Kaiser.
Base runner on for Shivers is Kaiser Anthony.
Now batting number 6,
Makes his way to the
Kaiser
plate.
Anthony.
This is a 271 hitting Hawks team.
Come on, Kaiser, you can.
And Anthony right there near that 271. 268 hitter. 30 RBIs, that is second most on the team. Five home runs, tied for number 2 on the team. Count even at 1 on Anthony, who popped out to short in the first. Low inside pitch. Count goes to 2-1. Two-one Eaton pitch. Shivers with his lead at first. Base wrap into right field. And a couple of 1-out, make that 2-out singles. And put a couple of base runners on. Hawks looking to respond to the 6 runs that plated in the bottom of the second.
Back in the plate for South Georgia State, number 34, Michael Fitzpatrick.
Come on, Mike, you can do it.
Fitzpatrick, a single and a run scored in the second. Fitzpatrick came in on that pass ball.
All right, 3-4.
Check that. Came in on the double play, the 4-6-3. Brought in Fitzpatrick. Couple of strikes, nothing in two.
Hawks could use a big 2-out hit right here. At least try to get one run back.
They've had a couple of 2-out base hits from Shivers and Anthony.
Come on, Mike, get on. You can do it.
Now looking for a third 2-out base hit from Fitzpatrick. 0-2 pitch, a little bit outside. Where about 90% of the 0-2 pitches go. Of course, I think the desire to have those immaculate innings is changing those odds a little bit. 1-2 offering. Count goes even at 2.
Come on, Mike.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Eaton's offering, and he will get Fitzpatrick.
Right, Jones, get him.
Second Eaton strikeout of the game, got Whaley in the first, gets Fitzpatrick in the third, and leaves 2
2
on.
hits, but no more.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Leading off the bottom of the third for Gordon State, the DH, number 12, Nick Struan.
Don't forget to watch all the stuff on JockJive later. Just going to subscribe to our premium channel at a nominal fee. And then you can watch everything for a year. As this one is popped up by Nick Struer. And long chase given, but it drops in front of Shivers. Gordon trying to continue a trend. First and second inning has been led off with an extra base hit. Home run by Zach Thompson in the first. And then a double by this guy in the second, Nick Struer. Mason Moore, Carlos Martins due up in the inning too. Outside with the pitch to Struer. Landon Dean, 12 appearances this season. 2 as a starter, 3 and 2. Worked 49 in the third innings, gave up a hit an inning, 49. 29 runs, 19 earned, 3.47 ERA as this one is poked towards the gap. And there's another one out of the park, but this one the ground rule double.
And there's your third inning in a row, starting with the extra base hit.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's going to be it or not. I think it is, yep.
Struer's done it twice. And that'll do it for Landon Dean. Who in the regular season, 42 strikeouts, 3 home runs given up, but he gave up a couple of home runs in his stint here to Zach Thompson. And he will leave the new guy after the break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
There was the new pitcher, Riley Barker, in for Landon Dean. And Dave Elder's been traipsing around the country via the internet. And you've got the latest from Tennessee.
Tennessee, first game of the day, Tuesday, of one, looks like 4 games for them. Motlow State defeated Southwest Tennessee 12-2. That one's ripped.
Wow. Rude introduction from Riley Barker. Mason Moore just launches a 2-run shot.
2-run homers scored off the bat at number 11, Mason Moore.
And so Motlow State advances in the winner's bracket there, and they'll play the winner of the game that's probably ending right about now, Dyersburg State and Columbia State. So that winner's bracket there in Tennessee is just about set, and that means that Southwest Tennessee will drop down and play Chat State this afternoon at 4:30. So one of those will be eliminated.
It'll be interesting to see who wins that Dyersburg Columbia State game.
Yeah, that could really dictate, but I mean, Motlow might be the team that's got the hot hand right now, because they came in from the number 1 play-in game, and it pushed through right now. So they might be riding that wild card in right now.
Got that glass slipper on, and the clock hasn't struck midnight.
No, it hasn't. So we'll see. But when we get them, we'll give it to you.
Carlos Martins facing Riley Barker. Barker, a freshman, 14 appearances, 20 strikeouts, 2 home runs allowed. 17 and a third innings. Had a 1-1 record, 19 hits given up, 17 runs, 10 earned. a 5.19 ERA. He will give up the home run to Moore and then walk Martans.
At the bottom of the order for the Highlanders, number
Well, if you're
25,
thinking the game
Jake
is
Epstein.
already practically over, hey, South Georgia's been here before. They've been down by nearly 8 before. As a matter of fact, they were down by 8 in the 6th inning against Andrew College.
Well, you're talking about Walter State getting knocked out, being 11th ranked. Top ranked Gaston State, North Carolina, Region 10, was eliminated by USC Sumter.
Man,
Must be something in the water.
something strange going on.
With all due respect to Carrie Underwood.
Yes. I know who Carrie Underwood is. I don't know all of her music. I'm assuming there's a song.
That's one of her songs, yes, sir.
All right.
Come on, you got to branch out into all genres, Robert. What do you do when you're on the road so much?
You know, that is the strangest thing because I do own some radio stations. I do not listen to radio. I do not listen to
Do
anything.
you talk to yourself on the road?
Not talk. Silence.
I guess maybe you need that after
I guess so.
hours of hearing yourself babble.
That's enough to drive anybody batty.
Amen.
You do not have to agree with every comment I make.
Just certain ones that really get a response.
Martans at first, Jake Epstein at the plate, 2 runs in on the Mason Moore home run. That has popped up to the left side, Flaney over near the foul line, able to make the catch, and there's one away. But yeah, you would think somebody that has radio stations would be listening to radio.
Now batting, number 17, Zach
Well,
Thompson.
I mean, it's just like when I was covering, the JUCO World Series. I would be here. You have baseball. You have softball tournament, baseball tournament, district tournament, then Grand Junction. So I would see probably 35 ball games in the course of, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And get back here, hey, you want to go to a Braves game? No, I don't want to go to a Braves game.
Swing and a miss to protect the runner. Runner is into second, and if the ball hadn't hopped out of the mid, would have been caught on the rebound, but Martin's able to get in with a stolen base. Well, it kind of reminds me of an interview I heard Don Henley of the Eagles give, and he was talking about the fact that after all these years of concerts, they would get off the road after a lengthy, practically year-long tour, and the last thing he wanted to hear would be Eagles music. And he would talk about going to eat at a restaurant and somebody going, hey, man, listen, what we've got playing. And he's like, man, I do not want to hear Hotel California. So I guess it's the same premise.
Sometimes you just got to get away and recharge.
90 feet away, 10th run of the game for Gordon. Zach Thompson at the plate.
South Georgia State needs some type of recharge themselves right now. They've got to get some type of spark. Get out of the inning first right here.
He did not go in the count 2-2 on Thompson. 2 home runs and 2 plate appearances. Could he do it again? Home run number 3. I do know the most home runs I've seen from a single player in a single game. I'm going to go way back. Maybe even when you were affiliated with the Braves. Bob Horner.
That was just a little bit. When did Horner get there? I'm trying to remember. 80.
That would have been in the early 80s, maybe. 83-ish, 4-ish. And a shot towards center field. Drops in as a base hit. Not a home run, but it's an RBI.
Well, I do remember, dealing with Dale Murphy, dealing with Bruce Benedict, dealing with Raphael Belliard, some of those.
Yep.
When I was there. Despised dealing with Bruce Benedict.
Now
I'll tell you
batting,
that
number
much.
21, Jackson Oldford.
Dale Murphy was as genuine as you see.
Bruce Benedict, no.
I'd rather deal with an ill rhino than deal with Bruce Benedict.
Jackson Alford 0 for 2 in the game. But that was back when.
87.
Was it 87, the 4 home runs by Horner?
That's back before they started winning. Boy, it was miserable.
Well, that was what I was going to mention about the game. Horner hits 4 home runs and they lose.
Yep.
It was a 15-9 game, I think. And if I'm remembering correctly, they were playing the Phillies when Pete Rose was the player manager, I think.
Bobby Cox was in the front office at the time because he'd come down the hall and say hello to me every morning as he came by.
He's a pretty good coach.
Oh, super nice guy. It's amazing. You see him in the hallway, and it's a super great guy, but then you see how many times he got ejected in the game. But you can tell him he stood up for his players. He was a player coach. I guess he felt like, heck, if I've gotten 10 ejections, what's 100? He was going to get his money's worth, that's for sure.
Over to first with a throw. Thompson back safely. Well, let's see if Thompson is a threat to go. 4 steals. Could, but probably won't if the stats bear true.
Okay, Riley.
Alford out number 1 in the first and second innings. Were you there when, oh man, think of the guy's name, the pitcher, Greg, outside with the pitch?
Maddox?
Yep.
No. Like I said, that was right about the time that Bobby Cox made the trade for John Smoltz. Smoltz came in, I think, the next year, if I'm not mistaken. Then they started winning. Early 90s was when Maddox, Avery, Glavin, Smoltz, those were your starters. That was your 4-man rotation right there.
I was at a charity dinner a couple of years ago, and Andre Dawson was the guest speaker, and he was talking about Maddox and the stories he told. Maddox was a unique dude, apparently.
I think he was unique, but I tell you what, you're talking about somebody that could spot a baseball. And then you look at his statistics of how many batters he went 3-0 on a count is just minuscule.
3-2 pitch, and that looks like a base hit. It is into left field. Back-to-back singles, couple of base runners on.
Getting my time in professional athletics made me realize that I didn't want to make a career out of professional athletics. You're talking about a lot of you're married to the job. And as much as I love sports, still to this day, grew up, everything, but I did not want to be married to it. So, and it's amazing, even to, working at UGA in grad school, that's a different level too. NCAA Division I level is different. It's not saying you don't have the relationships, but the relationships you have at our level, if you're, as a former AD myself, I miss that part. I miss that. Having kids come and sit in my couch, in my office, when I'm working on the computer, just come in, don't say a word, just plop down on the couch. And, you start the interaction, the relationships you build, and then, you see them come back. You have conversations with your coaches and say, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to make it or not. And some reason between that first year, that freshman, sophomore year, that light bulb comes on, and the reality of that they see that, hey, the education is really important. It's going to lead me to something else down the road, all these things. And then when kids go on to 4-year colleges and then they come back and, you hear those stories of hey, coach, thanks for not giving up on me, and there's you don't give up on them for a maturity level aspect. They hadn't gotten there yet from that maturity standpoint, or they've made a stupid mistake. And, I'm not saying you give a kid 3-4 mistakes if they do, really, really dumb things, but you're dealing with 18, 19 years old. They're adults, but hey, we all know guys' brains are not fully developed till they're 25.
Oh, do they develop then?
That's what the American Journal says, of physicians. So, from that standpoint, I remember a kid coming back and said, hey, appreciate you not giving up on me. And we had some times that we probably could have thrown this kid off campus. And he came back and said, you know, my home life was a mess. My father had this issue. My mother had this issue. My sister was this. And you know, you sit there and say, and you don't know these things. And then, you know, you find out the kid, he's got a job. He's married. He's got kids. He's in church every Sunday. Those are the things that you realize that, okay, this is why I'm doing this. You're making a difference in someone's life. And you might not know it at the time. And as much as I've seen coaches want to just give up and just, you know, throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, you never realize how you make an impression on somebody. And that's the great thing about our level. We've got so many coaches in the GCAA and across the country that are really, truly making a difference in young men and young women's lives.
Caleb Huffman coming to the plate. Well, if you hadn't stepped away from that professional scene, then you wouldn't be sitting right here.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And, you know, you find your niche, what's important to you. And to me, it was making a difference. Because, I mean, let's be honest. If you're working with the Braves or you're not making quite the difference there.
Line to short. Able to get back was Thompson. Nice try by Love to try to get the additional out.
Especially in the pro levels. At that point, you're not making that difference. You know, NCAA, D1 level, your difference that you can still be making a difference, but it's probably not at that same level. And because we got kids at junior college, not all, but some, they're borderline of, you know, are they even college material? And it goes back to that initial thing that you say, Coach, I don't know if they're going to make it. And then when they understand the emphasis of what they have to put on, going to school, going to class, going to study hall, taking care of assignments, the responsibility aspect that those kids have to learn. And that's what the coaches do. A lot of times those coaches are mom and dads away from home. Those kids don't have anybody telling them, hey, you need to get up and be at 8 o'clock class anymore. Mom and dad's not there to do that.
Gavin West has walked and flown out the center field, and will he fly out? No, it will hit the fence. Whaley thought it might leave the park. It's a double that drives in 2 more. New pitcher Parker Copeland on the hill.
You know, Robert, I had a kid one time. He came into my office, plopped down on the couch. I said hello to him. I continued typing something on the computer. And then when I finished that, whatever I was working on for a second, we started talking. And, you know, what's up? I don't know how. I got a paper. I don't know how to do it. And you know, you sit there and say, okay, you try to help walk them through that aspect. And then you say, okay, this is what you need to do. You know how to make a paper, you know, your introduction, your 3 main sections, your conclusion, all these things. And then, you know, they come back a couple weeks later and he comes back, sits down on the couch, and he's just beaming from ear to ear. And, you know, Coach, I got a B+ on my paper. And, you know, he was just ecstatic about that. And there's no dollar amount you can put on that. None.
Jack Fleming, couple of strikeouts, one in the first, one in the second. He has been a K for Dean, and as a matter of fact, he was a K in both instances for Dean. Parker Copeland, 9 appearances for the freshman, 7 2/3 innings during the regular season. 1-0, 16 hits given up, 16 runs, 8 earned. 9.39 ERA, 7 strikeouts and a home run allowed. And now a 12-1 game.
So what I did, I went from mentoring students and my coaches to mentoring ADs and coaches within the conference. So
still a mentor.
Try to be. Yes.
2-2 pitch into right field. West given the green light to go onto the house. He'll score, and Gordon takes a 13-1 lead. And they have hit around in the inning with Nick Struer coming back to the plate.
Next up for the Highlanders, the designated hitter, number 12, Nick Struer.
This is just not what Jeff Timothy and the South Georgia State Hawks were wanting today. A 6 spot in the second, a 6 spot so far in the third, 13-1 deficit.
And just the bottom of the third. On the outside part of the plate to Struer. Bottom third of the order coming to the plate in the top of the fourth. Boone, Flading, and Love. Parker Copeland relieving Barker. And it's right back to Parker. Hops up, goes to first, gets Struer on the 1-3. 10 go to the plate. 1 stranded, 6 come in. And 3 go down. 13-1 Gordon lead as we head to the fourth. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Top of the fourth, bottom of the order for South Georgia State. Gordon with a 12-run lead in the top part of inning number 4. Colin Heaton hitting the outside part of the plate on Logan Boone, who's got one of the 5 Hawks hits. Luke Flading and Tucker Love due up in the inning too. The winner taking on Georgia Highlands. Loser of this one has ABAC. And that and more happens tomorrow. A little bit outside with the pitch to Boone. Count runs to 3-2. Payoff pitch, and there is strikeout number 1, 2, 3 in the game for Eaton. 2 come back to back. Fitzpatrick to end the third and Boone to begin the fourth. And Luke Flading coming to the plate.
Luke Flading.
Luke, you can.
Flading hit by a pitch in the second. Tucker Love on deck. Count evens up, 1 apiece.
It's a good thing his name's not Buddy Love, or we would be making these Nutty Professor references with Eddie Murphy. You seen the Nutty Professor?
I did not see that movie.
Okay,
no.
then.
And I don't know what you're talking about now.
His arch nemesis was his evil self, Buddy Love.
I may have seen a little bit of that. Must be a big lead. That's typically when we go all over them. No, heck, we don't have to have big leads to go to all kinds of topics. Outside with a pitch deflating.
Well, I thought Tucker Love would have been one of those in your all names because you could have pulled out the song from the 70s.
Well, you know,
Radar
I did
Love
mention that, though, yesterday, didn't I? But I thought Tucker Love probably qualified. Flating on, and Tucker Love coming to the plate. That is the 6th hit off Eaton.
Now batting, number 7, Tucker Love.
Tucker Love ground into the 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Trey Jeffers to the on-deck circle.
Can't see the numbers. South Georgia State's got somebody up in their bullpen, so you have to wonder if we're going to have a new pitcher next inning for the Hogs.
Well, they used 8 yesterday, and they've only used 4 thus far. They need to get back, you know, on that track towards 8. Of course, Jeff Timothy would prefer not to be using all these pitchers, but it is necessitated based on how the other team's faring. And right now, Gordon with a 12-run lead in the 4th. 1-2 pitch to Love. That is dropped. And then you finally got, boy, you're doing a lot of dancing there on second. And got the double play to boot.
Still turned the DP out of all that.
I don't know that might not have been. I may have to try to capture that replay because we might have actually
No
had
runs, 1 hit, and no errors. 2 left on base in the top of the 4th.
could it be was there a 1 involved? Did he get a piece of it? I mean, there's the possibility of a 1-4-6-4-3 double play. Well, I guess none of that's relevant. What is relevant is they got the DP, and we head to the bottom of the 4th.
In 1995, the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association has held its annual Coaches Convention, where up to 450 high school and college coaches gather to learn more about their craft from some of the best coaches in Alabama and the country. The annual awards banquet is also held during the convention, where standout high school and college players and coaches from the past season are honored for their success. The banquet's highlight occurs when the new Hall of Fame class is inducted and the Distinguished Service Award recipient
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Highlanders, number 11, Mason Moore.
Bottom of the 4th, Mason Moore to start it. Carlos Martins and Jake Epstein due up in the inning 2 against the new pitcher Hayden Morris. Morris only pitched 4 innings this year. In 5 appearances, gave up 3 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, ERA at 10.5. 7 strikeouts, no home runs allowed in his 4 innings of work. Facing Mason Moore, Carlos Martins, and Jake Epstein. That is lifted towards left field. Luke Flading there. He'll make the catch. And for the first time in the game, the leadoff hitter goes down for Gordon.
Now batting for Gordon State, number 2, Carlos Martins.
1 out for Carlos Martins. A double, a walk, an RBI, and 2 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. And this one floated to right field. Boone there. Out number 2. Two gone for Jake Epstein.
Now batting, number 25, Jake Epstein.
Top of the order to the plate when you get to the top of the 5th, and South Georgia State is in a bit of a quandary. They've got to get some runs in the top of the 5th. Right now, the number of runs they must plate is 3. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Parker Copeland, 2/3 of an inning, faced 4. No strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits given up. And he will allow a single run.
Big boy up there. Big boy at last. What is up?
2-2 pitch to Epstein. And there he goes. 1-2-3. For the Highlanders in the bottom of the 4th. South Georgia State to stay in the game. Got to have 3 in the top of the 5th.
13. Your attention, please. Pinch hitting at first in the order for South Georgia State, and leading off, number 28, Thomas Lovin.
All right, let's go, Thomas.
Ready for your GCAA update?
I am ready.
Chattanooga State beat Dyersburg 8-0.
Oh, I was thinking Dyersburg was playing Columbia State, but they weren't.
Here we go, Thomas.
Low and away with a pitch.
Oh, hold on just a second. I might have been looking at softball.
Now they play the softball and the baseball
That
in the
was
same
soft.
spot.
That was softball. Yes. Got to be a little more thorough in my scanning.
Hey, that's okay. I was talking to Jeff Timothy in the interview and went back and looked at the Gordon South Georgia State matchup in the regular season. And I was like, man, you hopped on those guys, beat them 21-6 the last outing. He said, that was what they did to us. Oh. It was kind of like the time a friend of mine who had known for years, and I thought somebody had told me she was pregnant. I swear I thought they had told me she was pregnant. And I couldn't say I heard. I had to say, I see that you're pregnant. And she wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the old Homer Simpson gif where he just sort of scurries back into the bushes and want to disappear there. Chopper to the mound. There's one down for the Highlanders.
And that was a pinch hitter, by the way, coming to the plate, Thomas Lovins. And Lovins hits into the 1-3.
Attention, please. Another pinch hitter for the Hawks.
And it looks like we may get a steady diet of pinch hitters. This is Josh Simpson. Is this a concession on the part of Jeff Timothy?
You know what? You never want to do that, but.
Popped up to second. And there the catch made by Jackson Alford.
Another pinch hitter up to the plate for the Hawks. This time it's
and pinch hitter number
Landon
3,
Yates.
Landon Yates. Yates had 12 regular season plate appearances. Hit .250. 3 RBIs. So between the 3 that we have seen in the 5th, as this one is chopped to short, barehanded, over to first, not quite in time. Yates with an infield single.
Ladies and gentlemen, another pinch hitter for the Hawks. This time it's number 5.
Landon Richmond pitch hitting. So between the 4 during the regular season, there were 79 plate appearances between the 4. I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players that had more than 79 plate appearances individually. These 4 combined with 79 plate trips.
Come on, 5, you can.
Do me a favor. When you go see D. Myrick tomorrow, tell him I don't bug him during his tournament, and I'm on the air.
Outside with a pitch, Landon Richmond. Richmond a 300 hitter. 20 trips to the plate and 4 base hits. That's pretty well hit, but right to Mason Moore. The ball game's over. Both games Mercy Rule games. One ended in the 7th, and this one will end in the 5th, 4.5 in.
We're done for today.
We are. Let's take a look at your final numbers in this one. 7 South Georgia State hits. 1 run, it came in the 2nd. No errors committed, and they will strand 6.
Nothing doing in the top of 5.
Gordon 12 hits, 13 runs, leaving 2 on.
13-1 the final score for the
Run in the
Highlanders.
first 6 runs each in the 2nd and 3rd.
With the win, Gordon State advances
And there's
to
your
play Georgia Highlands.
Ball game, and there is your day.
And what we've got,
That's a
we
1 p.m.
move
start
on with
here
our
tomorrow.
bracket. So tomorrow,
South Georgia State will
start
play
off with the
ABAC
losers
in the
bracket
10
at 10
game
a.m.
tomorrow.
That'll be
Elimination
ABAC College
game.
against South Georgia State. 10 a.m. Game 5
That's it for day
of the
2
tournament.
Of the GCAA tournament.
After that, it'll be the winners
2024.
bracket. Georgia
We'll see you all
Highlands
here tomorrow.
against Gordon State. So you're looking at the number 1 and 2 seed in the winner's bracket right there. So the winner of that game will be moving to the championship game. And then, of course, the 4 o'clock ball game would be the loser of the winner's bracket against the winner of the loser's bracket at 4 p.m. So tomorrow we will send 2 teams home. And we'll send you to Alabama.
I know. Jason Thompson going to be here providing the play-by-play. You get a professional the rest of the way. And it's just for you, Dave.
Have I told you how disgusted I am at this point? I know I've told you that off air, and I'm going to tell everybody else on air. Look, I give you a hard time. It's only because I want the best.
Well, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing in the best for you.
That's your excuse. No, but really, Robert, thank you for 2 days here. Look, I'll take you when I can get you. Look, if I want to be selfish, which I usually do when it comes to things like this, I want you all 4 days. But with that being said, I'm going ahead and putting it in. Next year, I want you here.
All right. And, I was here the whole softball tournament.
I know. Choosy, greedy people can't be choosy, but listen, yeah, I can. Hey,
that's right. You can do as you wish.
It's
man.
my show. I can have what I want. Yeah, if I want you here, I want you here. So, no, thank you again. Appreciate it, Robert. Another year, I can't tell you this when you're in Alabama working for Dean Myrick, but I can say thank you for what you've done again this year covering for us. Always glad to have you on board. Listen, it's been, 14 years?
Yep, something like that.
And we'll make it number 15 for next year. So I'll go ahead and put that in 15 next year for Dean Myrick can grab you and say, hey, let me give you a little Alabama swag, not to go over to Georgia. So, but thank you, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the morning off the air. But please be careful heading over to Alabama. And we'll have Jason Thompson here. Look, give a hard time there, but Jason does a good job. Jason will be here tomorrow covering all 3 games, and then our championship if we have that Thursday or Friday. So stick around, come back. We'll be here. More GCAA baseball on JockJive.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you for the opportunity. Always a pleasure to work with with Dave, who opened the door to Dean and all the rest of the JUCO stuff that we do. So we appreciate that.
I would say that's a faux pas, but see, sometimes the truth just sort of slips out.
Well, I was trying to lead into what Dave opened the door to, and it was Dean, and it was to John, and it was to the GCAA, and it was to Rob, which originally was Bert.
Trying to make me feel better, aren't you?
There at Georgia, yeah. Trying to cover me. I better just shut the game down.
No, thank you, buddy. And
take a hike.
Folks, thank y'all for tuning in today. We appreciate you doing that, and appreciate you listening to us, and we hope we don't run you off, and we hope you'll come back tomorrow.
See you then. For Dave Elder, the commissioner of the GCAA, I'm Robert Williamson for JockJive. So long, everybody.